Breaking news. Good morning to everybody watching us on the Save Jackson Clay Edwards Show YouTube channel. You'll start getting these videos by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday to get your weekday started. And then by the time you get through watching it, 7 o'clock is here, and you can listen to me live on my morning radio show, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here in Central Mississippi on 103.9 FM, a WYAB. You can always check out the podcast. Just search Clay Edwards Show wherever you download podcasts, stream music, and more. Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart, Podbean. I'm on all of them, and then some I've never even heard of. And it does upload in a video format to YouTube. It usually takes till about lunchtime to do that, and we also put it over on some of the other video platforms as well. If you have any problems finding it on a certain platform, just email me, Clay@WYAB, and we'll see if I can get you sorted out and help you out finding the podcast. We don't charge anything for you guys to listen to this. What we do ask is, to quote Andy Frisella, who hosts a great show, don't be a hoe, share the show. That is the admission fee. We just want you to share this in your news feed, share it with a friend, share it with a family member, share it with anybody you may think can find it interesting. That is how we grow the show. That is how you can repay us for the effort we put in to do these. Let's jump in. Friday, the kickoff to a big 4-day Memorial Day weekend. A family was walking out to their car in West Jackson. This is one of the only white families still left in West Jackson. That's not really relevant to this, but I don't think they're going to be one of those. I don't think they're going to be one of the last ones left after this. I can't imagine them sticking around. Two black guys, future rocket scientists and engineers, maybe even a astronaut or two in the bunch, just on their way to school, decides to pull their guns out and start randomly firing at this family as they're trying to load up in the car. And they were just saying bye. Like, the mom and the youngest son lived here at the house. Her other two kids and their grandkids were in from Batesville, I believe, to see them. And the rocket scientists and engineers, well, they decided they wanted that car. Nice little Mazda vehicle. They decided they wanted it, so they just, instead of walking up and traditionally trying to rob somebody like you would, and where you would avoid firing the gun, they just walk out firing the gun, then asking for the keys. Well, the kids are still in the back seat. Luckily, nobody's gotten shot at this point. Kids are still in the back seat. They get them out of there. Then these future rocket scientists, engineers, and maybe even astronauts don't know how to work a push button start car. That's right. Future rocket scientists and engineers don't even understand that you have to put your foot on the brake and then hit the red button. Oh man, Jackson is screwed. So they freak out. They throw the keys down. The woman gives them the keys to her other car that's in the driveway, which is this little Hyundai, I believe. It's right here to the right of the screen. I think that's a Hyundai, maybe a Honda. But to paint a better picture for you, in case you couldn't see it, this is the family. This is the Mazda they had. This is the mom and brother on the outside of the car ducking because they are being shot at in this moment right here. There's 4 more family members inside that car. This is a wild scene to unfold. I'm going to tell you a few more details here. Let me minimize that. And I'm just going to read to you. This is the whole story. I just kind of wanted to get the main parts of it out there so you kind of understood it. Now we're going to read it over at WAPT.com. 2 men are wanted by Jackson police for allegedly, I don't think it was allegedly, stealing a woman's car and firing shots at her and her family. The whole incident was caught on a Ring camera. 2 suspects creep up, firing shots at the family as they were saying their goodbyes in the driveway of their West Jackson home. Quote, I threw my hands up like, hey, just pulled me. He just pulled me down, said Heather Allen, talking about her son. Allen and her son were outside the car, but inside were her oldest son, daughter, and 2 grandchildren. They kept hollering, give me the keys, give me the keys. My daughter was like, my babies are in the car, Allen said. One of the suspects is seen on video pulling Allen's daughter out of the car. He jumps in the driver's seat. I'm standing on the outside looking in, and he points a gun at my oldest son's face, Allen said. Her son makes it out, and that's when Allen braves it to grab her two grandchildren from the back seat. The whole time, one of the suspects was still yelling for the keys. But when they couldn't figure out how to take the first car, Alan threw her keys on the ground, and you see the suspects take off in Alan's car that was parked in the lawn. That's that little Hyundai looking car. Quote, I'm not sleeping. My oldest son, his anxiety is through the roof. He's even scared. My daughter, she has shock, but they are in safety. They're in Batesville right now, Alan said. JPD was, in fact, able to track down the car about 2 blocks away and only 40 minutes after the armed carjacking took place. The cop said that the car looks good, but it is in an impound lot, and she says they cannot get her car back until after they have dusted it for fingerprints. Makes sense. The ring camera footage has been taken into evidence, according to JPD. The investigation is ongoing, but if you know anything about the suspects or the case, you are urged to call JPD or Crime Stoppers at 601-355-TIPS. You know, my biggest gripe with this is just plain and simple. Why not a description of the perps in this? Why don't we mention, hey, 2 black guys, tall, slender, certain kind of build, wearing this, wearing that? Nothing. They didn't give a single description. You had to screenshot the photo from the ring camera just to zoom in and see what they are. Completely ridiculous. Let us see the rest of the video. Let us see the rest of the video. Guys, white folks, I'm going to talk to y'all for a second. You're sitting targets. You're sitting ducks in South Jackson, West Jackson, pretty much all of Jackson. You're not urban warriors. You're not going to get a free pass when they decide they got something you want. They're not going to look at you and say, oh, but as long as you've talked bad about Clay Edwards on his Instagram page, we're going to let you stay. That ain't how it's going to work. They're coming for what you got, just like they're coming for what they have in their own mama's house. They do not care. These are not good people. These are bad people. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. There's still a lot of good people in Jackson. These just ain't some of them. And these don't care how woke you are, how virtuous you are, how ingrained in their culture you are. None of that. When you got something they want, it's guns out blazing. That could have been your grandkids gotten killed. It could have been one of your 3 kids getting killed. It could have been you getting killed, or it could have been all of you getting killed because for some reason you refuse to move out of Jackson. Get out. Save yourself. Jackson does not need to be saved. Tune into my radio show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on WYAB. Follow me on all social media content, websites at SaveJXN. If you like my shirt here, the FAFO, you can buy yours here locally, and I'll ship it to you. Go to buyfafo.com. We got caps, stickers, and more available too. Working on some tank tops and more. I will see you guys on the radio, and you'll see me back here posting at least 5 videos a day from this point forward on all of my video platform channels. Prayers for the family. They got their car stolen. I can't imagine what it's like to have to go back and live in a place that something like that happened in the driveway. That's a terrible feeling. I get out of that house now. If you're not renting, sell it. If you're renting, say bye, bitch. I'm out. Peace out.